fun of him.
Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Oh, he fucked up.
Okay.
So Don Lemon has a
bit of hot milk, huh?
Yeah. So Don Lemon was given a show earlier on this year, or late last year, whatever.
Gotcha.
So he was supposed to do a daytime talk show on that CNN Plus before that went defunct in
like
3 weeks.
They learn nothing from what people actually consume in giant numbers on the internet. It's like, why is TV so bad at this still? They can't figure it out, dude. Like,
the fact that somebody put fucking $500 million into a platform, thinking that people were going to pay for a streaming service for CNN that they already get for free and is on 24 hours a day, and just like put all of their idiot personalities into like talk show formats was hilarious to begin with. And then when it fell apart literally in 3 weeks,
they just can't figure it out.
So funny.
It's almost like they do this is why people end up believing the mainstream media has a contract with the devil, because like you don't make any fucking sense. It's almost like you are fucking bound by some like spiritual fucking agreement to only adhere to the to only stick to these certain fucking methods and people and whatever. I mean, because they haven't really changed.
No, it's almost as if they're absolutely tone deaf.
Yeah. As though there's an arrogance industry-wide
weird, right?
That won't allow them to
an elitism
progress.
That just says, no, we know better.
Mm-hmm.
We know.
Because that's how it always was.
They're like, no, we got this.
Right.
We're the boss.
We'll tell you what you like.
It really does seem like that.
Why are we watching it? Because it's on.
Yes. So anyways, so then when that fucking went defunct, I believe then they gave him a show on CNN, because now he didn't have his regular show that was already, that slot had been filled. So, and he's just been fucking shit up. He's like always yelling at his co-hosts, and he's at one point he was wearing a hoodie under a pinstripe suit jacket, like trying to look hip, and everyone was like just roasting him on Twitter and shit. Like, what the fuck is this dude doing, man?
Yeah, that I could picture that.
It was really weird.
I mean, that would be like way back when you might see like one of the guys like hanging out with Wu-Tang dressed like that or something.
Yeah, no, but then there was a style with like a hoodie, but it was like an unstructured sort of sports jacket, not a suit jacket with like the pinstripes. Not that. It didn't make any sense. I mean, it looked really stupid.
I could see like either maybe a rapper or an artist or something doing that or whatever, but
he's
that's what I mean. It's just
but just recently he went on a little diatribe about Nikki Haley, who was a lunatic Republican, apparently. I don't know much about her, but the left seems to think that she's one of the craziest people on the planet.
Oh, what's to know? Some fucking crazy lady.
Yeah,
whatever.
Some crazy brood.
Probably. Or maybe
or not. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. She might be talking normal shit. I don't know. But apparently she was saying that a lot of politicians are not in their prime because they're so fucking old. A lot of, senators and congressmen.
Okay.
And so Don Lemon took...
what a bizarre statement. Have you ever seen Congress?
I know.
It's a fucking like, crypt in there, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Tales from the crypt. But yeah, I think she was like saying that about... I'm sure she was saying it about Joe Biden, because he's a fucking, walking mess at this point. He can't talk and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that.
Nobody had seen that yet. But here, let's take a look at... So this was Don Lemon's hot take on the subject.
Okay.
All right.
This whole talk about AIDS makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people,
Wait a second, hold on. Did somebody just say before that, I think I'd like to help cure more cases of AIDS? He's like, this is unacceptable. This is like...
No, so Haley calls for mental competency tests for older politicians.
He's not talking about AIDS, the disease?
But good idea, though, right?
Okay. All
right, let's stay on topic. Well, this is our one main complaint.
This is
when we diverge. All right. But yeah, wait, what the fuck is he saying? Okay, so yeah, here, I'm going to bring this back. Just because
this whole talk about AIDS makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking about? Wait.
Now, he says and maybe 40s because he realizes, oh shit, both of my co-hosts are in their 40s. And so look, he immediately
starts looking around the room at all the other people, or 50s, or what are you, 62? Okay, it goes up to 62.
Yeah. So this is Nikki Haley's not in her. Okay.
A woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait,
that's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s.
No, wait a minute.
I'm gonna Google that right now.
This, what are you fucking talking about?
I'm gonna bet dollars to donuts he never did that shit. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Wait.
What an idiot. All right. You could still listen though?
When is? Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. I got
it came up right away. So many people have been.
So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about?
I have an update to this.
Okay.
If you Google when is a woman in her prime, a bunch of articles about how Don Lemon is an asshole come up. That's what it is now. So. Let's see. I'm going to find. I don't know who's the authority on this. Because it's all about him now.
Well, I saw one take. Okay, well, here, let's finish this out.
I'm just saying what the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to Google or whatever it is.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we have that. So now apparently, I mean, so he's on CNN. Mm-hmm. So you can't talk shit like this on CNN. You can't have hot takes.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure all of these articles that are coming up are like, Don Lemon gets canceled. Because he's like always been a big proponent of, cancel culture doesn't exist and all this shit.
It was just a bunch of range of bullshit. Yeah.
And but I found this hilarious because Don Lemon has been such a fucking outspoken idiot for so long. And just like he's been in that sort of ideological ditch that people end up in that are on these networks for so long that one fucking I mean, it really isn't one thing though. He's been fucking going off the rails a bit, in recent months, but nothing like this.
He always had a tendency to get a little nutty, and he always had that Philip Mudd guy on that I love. We should watch some of him again. I don't know if we may have in the very early episodes.
We did. Yeah,
but that would be fun again. Just he had him on as a correspondent all the time, and the two of them, it was just like being in a mental hospital. Fuck are these people talking about? It was a very bus station-ish conversation, you know.
So this is now. I found this. So this sent me down a little bit of a rabbit hole on Don Lemon, right? And I found something very interesting.
Okay.
So I have an example here. Do you remember when Terry Crews was on his show talking about BLM? Do you remember this at all?
I'd have to say I'm sure I saw it, but I don't know.
Well,
what did he do?
It was. I mean, he was a big Don Lemon was sort of anyone that said anything about like the riots that were occurring at the time and. Just all of that. These were the people that were saying these are mostly peaceful protests while buildings were burning down and everyone was getting, their shit stolen and whatever. And
then going, but.
Yeah. So he was a big advocate for, he's just, like I say, he's just ideologically locked in at this point, right? He wants his fucking job and he knows what he's supposed to say. And so when Terry Crews was on, Terry Crews got into some hot milk about criticizing the actions of BLM at the time. And this is an example of the tactics that Don Lemon would use
Because actor and activist Terry Crews facing backlash for tweeting, "We must ensure Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into Black Lives Better." Here's how he explained it. Are all white people bad? No. Are all black people good? No. Knowing this reality, I stand on my decision to unite with good people no matter the race, creed, or ideology. Given the number of threats against this decision, I also decide to die on this hill.
What a fucking piece of shit.
So
dude.
I know. Now the fact that Terry Crews was fucking getting such pushback on that statement to
From
me,
who?
I was like,
Where? Who
just
did?
everyone, BLM. And so this is a clip basically of Don Lemon debating this point with him
Also,
because for some reason Don Lemon doesn't agree with the statement. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, dude, you would think. I mean,
That's a pretty anodyne. You know what I mean? That's pretty much. I think that statement is.
well, he obviously
pretty
knows
legit.
when he says it, he knows it's going to irritate a certain amount of people.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he's saying it. But also, it's just a completely benign, pretty bland statement.
Yeah.
In
Are all white
general.
people
Like,
bad? No. Are all black people good? No. Knowing this reality, I stand on my decision to unite with good people, no matter the race, creed, or ideology. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty fucking self-evident if you ask me. I don't know. But yeah,
well, I bet you
yeah.
they bristled at the. We better make sure that it doesn't become Black Lives
better.
Better.
Yeah. That was
That's the
one of the
part
big.
that-
That was
yeah.
the part that he started getting real pushback on first. Then this was like an explanation.
But
and this is like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? It's not like we're breaking any news here. But yeah, this is just.
joins me now.
If you'll
Terry?
watch the tactics.
And you stepped in it. You say that you're willing. You say you're willing to die on this hill. You've taken a lot of heat for this. Explain what you were thinking and why it's so important that you die on this hill.
Well, again, I wanted to bring up the fact that there are some very, very, militant type forces in Black Lives Matter, and what I was issuing was a warning. It's one of those things where I've been a part of different groups, I've been a part of different things, and you see how extremes can really can go far and can go wild. And then when you issue a warning, and when a warning is seen as detrimental to the movement, how can you ever have checks and balances? In the 60s and 70s, airplanes went down all the time. And the reason they found out why they did was because the pilots could never be questioned.
Is that true?
And when you have the leaders of the Black Lives Movement who are now talking about, if we don't get our demands, we're going to burn it down. Other black people who are talking about working with other whites and other races, they're being viewed as sellouts or called Uncle Toms. You start to understand that you are now being controlled. You're not being
Now,
treated as love.
We see what he's saying, right? This is fine. Now,
You said you think it's an extreme movement? Because it's now part of the...
No, but this is the thing. It's a great mantra. It's a true mantra. Black lives do matter. But when you're talking about an organization, you're talking about the leaders. You're talking about the people who are responsible for putting these...
I can't believe how idiotic the discussions on most things in this country are. It's like that's the level, and it takes 4 years to get to that point where there's still two people on TV being like, well, it's a good saying, but that doesn't necessarily mean everyone in the organization is good. Oh, well, thank you for the clarification.
How dare you?
What do we still at this point, just fucking exhausting. And this is this is the high level discussion that's being had at a national level.
I know. But so I didn't mean to play so much of this, to be honest. But we'll see an example, and this is the only reason.
Cherry, you realize that even during the civil rights movement, that Dr. King was seen as extreme. That movement.
We'll
was seen
see.
as extreme. To people who don't want to make change,
the way that Don Lemon
movements are seen as
so
extreme.
he talks.
You can paint them easily.
This is fine.
As an extreme when they are.
Now
they all realized that you had to have a non-racial component to these kind of and you're talking about movement
being nonchalant about gun violence. I lived in Chicago. There are many people who are working in those communities.
So this was what Terry Crews was saying. He was saying, why doesn't anyone care about the black-on-black violence that are killing kids in Chicago? Just this month, there were 12 kids killed in black-on-black violence and whatever. And that was his point. And Don Lemon was saying that's a different thing. We don't need to worry about that sort of thing. But once he gets on his high horse and sees that he's not really winning,
but I don't understand
he just starts talking over him. And that's what he'll do here.
That's for equality.
He just literally doesn't let them talk.
TV.
It's not
That's what they do,
If you care about equality for black people, that somehow you're going to stop random violence, or unfortunately, kids from being shot. It just seems like
by the way, too, hold on. That's the problem in inner city neighborhoods. The violence is random. I love how much they'll talk around drug prohibition constantly. It can never be addressed that 95% of this is gang related based on drug sales and territory because all of these drugs are fucking illegal and the prices are driven up insanely to make it worth killing to get the fucking money.
I know. It's a very odd. Fucking
it's random violence because that's what happens it's the poverty. These neighborhoods aren't full of fucking money, and
which is why we brought up Yoel, whatever, that Curious Yoel that one time, because that's like the most impoverished neighborhood but it really
on
isn't.
paper.
On paper.
It's not that way. This is the thing, Don. Black people need to hold other black people accountable. I said this the same thing. This is the Black America's version of the Me Too movement. If anything is going to change, we ourselves need to look at our own communities and look at each other and say, this thing cannot go down. And this is the thing, too.
What's funny, too, real quick?
What's up?
I never liked that point of black people need to hold each other accountable. Really? Because when people tell white people you need to do better and hold each other, you know how much that fucking annoys me? I could see as a black person to be like, why do I have to fucking?
Yeah, it's not my fucking job.
Yeah,
what
dude, I'm doing fine.
I'm not killing anyone.
Right?
I need
to go out and fucking
every black dude I know
police the neighborhood now.
You need to do better, fucking gang leader.
I never liked that idea of when he's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth in a way too, because he's on one hand, let's and racial boundaries or whatever, like you were saying before, and then also, but let's identify as one race and hold each other accountable. That hold each other accountable thing just always seems not.
It's an odd thing, and also, in defense or in critique of what Terry Crews is saying here, it's not just black people. These are gang members that are killing people in the inner cities. These are criminals. They're not going to just listen to you because you're like, hey, you shouldn't do that.
I know.
They're going to fucking do it to you then.
Don't you guys?
That's why people don't speak up.
Don't you guys want to go to night school?
What are you fucking saying? But this was a little longer than me.
You're a high-profile person. You're writing things out there. You're going to get backlash. People are going to respond to what you're saying on Twitter. So I don't think you should be surprised by that. I have a skin as tough as an armadillo because of what I do, and I think maybe you should adapt that. But here's what I have to say.
Because of what I do, I rub sandpaper all over myself every night.
Started because it was talking about.
I use armadillo rub.
If you want an all Black Lives Matter movement that talks about gun violence in communities, including black communities, then start that movement with that name. But that's not what Black Lives Matter is about. It's not an all-encompassing. So if you're talking about, if someone started a movement that said, is about to start that issue.
This just keeps.
I know that, but I agree, but that's not what the Black Lives Matter movement is about, Terry.
Yeah, we decide what it's about.
Police brutality and
your observations are meaningless, strong man.
About what happens in communities when it comes to crime, black on black crime. People who live near each other, black people, kill each other. Same as whites. 80-some% of white people are killed by white people. Because of proximity.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with black people.
Yeah.
It happens in every single neighborhood.
What about trans people?
But that doesn't, again,
yeah.
I'm not saying
is that the same thing?
Answer that one.
Those kids died, but it's a different movement.
It is. Yeah.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I totally understand. It is about police brutality.
Okay. Right, so we don't have to keep going on that. But, so one thing that I found interesting, right? So he's gotten himself fucked over.
There's gotta be something.
I think he's but this I found very odd. And we'll go over here and check this out.
We had a comment here, too, while you're getting that going.
What do we got?
David Bach said, Lemon once had a take about a plane disappearing into a black hole. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you can put it, can you put links in the chat? Why does nobody ever do that?
Yeah.
Can you just drop it in there and then you can get it or no?
Yeah. Just do that. All right, but check this out. So this was in, I want to say 2013. Watch Don Lemon here. This is pre-wokeness and shit. Now look at his take on this. All right, this is what I found interesting.
Okay.
And this is why I say that he's just doing this because of he wants his job. Now watch this.
Because black people if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you're not doing this,
He's
then it
Bill
doesn't apply to
Cosby,
you. I'm
huh?
not talking about you.
Okay.
Here's number 5. Pull up your pants. Walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact, it comes from prison when they take away belts from the prisoner so that they can't make a weapon. And then it evolved into which role a prisoner would have during male-on-male prison sex. The one with the really low pants is a submissive one. You get my point? Number 4 now is the N-word. By promoting the use of that word when it's not germane to the conversation, have you ever considered that you may just be perpetuating the stereotype the massa intended, acting like a nigger? Now number 3.
Oh my God.
Respect where you live. Start small by not dropping trash.
Dude, he's giving
in
a
your own communities.
full-on black-on-black lecture right now, and then he's fucking mad at Terry Crews.
Yeah,
like,
this is what I'm saying. Yeah.
In my life, I rarely, if ever, witness people littering. I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood. Every single day, I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet
This
wet.
is Don Lemon's real fucking point of view.
Number 2,
Right.
Finish school. You want to break the cycle
This
of
looks
poverty?
a
Stop
lot more
telling
genuine.
Kids are acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English.
So
a high school dropout
And like all his,
makes on
this is like
average
the same shit Rush Limbaugh was saying.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like,
This is fucking Tucker Carlson.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is fucking.
a year. A college
This is
graduate makes
insane though, because I
$2 million a
wasn't.
year.
How long ago was
Over
this?
the course of a career, a college
You know,
grad will make
within
over
10
$1
years.
billion
You know,
more
8 years
than a
ago,
high
something like
school
that.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lot.
So yeah, my
big
thing,
phony.
Yeah, my thing is, I believe that these institutions, when you get embedded in them, drive you insane.
Yeah.
Because now, okay, so you saw the Terry Crews thing. He's obviously just has to fucking sort of support a narrative. It doesn't matter what evidence comes his way. He's just got to, you know, push back on it. Fine. But now you see what he's doing. He just doesn't give. He's just like insane now.
Yeah.
He's just trying to be fucking dressing like Urkel. He doesn't fucking care. He's yelling at his co-host. He's fucking telling women they're only in their prime in their 20s and 30s. It's like now I think he's just been pushed over the 40s. Yeah. So Don Lemon, I guess we'll wish him well on his new adventures.
Well, there's that David Box sent us that link about him talking about a plane going into a black hole, which I'm actually pretty interested in. I know we've been on this for a while, but why not?
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
let's see this.
you see that? Okay.
Hold on now. We gotta.
CNN's Don Lemon is is black hole theory for missing jet or whatever. That was kind of written weird, but
yeah,
I think I know what they meant.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get this up here.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll just give everybody a little heads up on what we're talking about next hour. I think we're going to do. I guess a lot of people know about this, but I never heard about that time that they tried giving dolphins LSD to see if they could communicate with them.
Yeah, mixed
feelings. This is an awesome idea. NASA funded it. Like, what the fuck?
Of course they did.
Then we had something about Whoopi Goldberg, which is going to be a surprise to me. And Tom also brought in
a pretty funny one.
A cool commercial for gloves.
Oh yeah, this thing came across my my desk, and I was like, "What in the fucking hell am I watching?"
Yeah. We got. I love a good commercial, you know, and I'm always looking for products to buy. Yeah, you know, I can't stop.
They're actually, coincidentally, half-finger white gloves. No, what if they were?
He's like pretty. He's been in touch with my therapist. Like, this is how they're gonna just slowly drive me more insane. All right, so something about trans activists.
A New York Times thing that's going on, and then we can get into some other.
I know that's surprising to hear from us that we're going to.
Yeah, that's a weird
weigh
thing
in on that issue. And then we have an article about problematic authors, which is very funny.
Yeah, which was tweeted out by Richard Dawkins.
We're going to try to make it funny.
I'm sure it'll be hilarious. All right, let me just see here. Let's get to. So apparently this is Don Lemon's take on a plane.
The missing plane. I'm guessing it was that Malaysian flight or something.
Let's see here.
2014. That sounds about right.
What if it was hijacking or terrorism or mechanical failure or pilot error? But what if it was something fully that we don't really understand? A lot of people have been asking about that.
I'm going to say that's pretty likely based on the structure of that sentence.
On and all of these conspiracy theories. Let's look at this. Noah says, what else can you think about? Black hole, Bermuda Triangle. And then Deji says, just like the movie Lost. And of course, they're also referencing the Twilight Zone, which has a very similar plot. That's what people are saying. I know it's preposterous, but
wait, that's what he's not saying it.
Yeah.
What the hell? Did you just trick us on purpose?
You
What is this?
motherfucker. All right.
David Box, call in and account for this.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Wait, no, did we just not play it long enough, or did he?
Yeah, let's see.
We could try it for another second or two.
Well, it is. A black hole is about, a small black hole would suck in our entire universe, so we know it's not that. The triangle is often weather, and Lost is a TV show. So
Right.
I think I always like things for which there's...
I see what he's saying is that he's even entertaining this, and he's wasting these people's time with an idiotic fucking... Why would you ask these people that?
Yeah, why
hey, do you think it's a black hole, guys?
Actually, that is true. He goes, I realize this is totally
I know this is
preposterous,
stupid,
but we should take us some time on the program with it.
Yeah.
And
let's all talk about if a black hole opened up in fucking the Bermuda Triangle, you fucking...
Now, is this going to be David Box to defend?
Nope.
Oh, no.
Hello, you're on the air with Tom and Vinny. What's up?
Hello, this is David Box calling in.
Hey, David, what's up?
Wanted to laugh at all you guys.
You tricked us.
Time, and you should take away some stars in my general status, and just pass them on to General Critchlow. He doesn't have enough.
Wow, that's very nice of you. Okay.
Yeah, that is really nice of you.
I'm David Box, and I'm a man of giving, and
yes, I've always known you to be that.
People's time.
This is completely in line with your normal actions and personality.
And voice.
Yeah, and you've obviously been keeping your normal voice going.
I'm sorry. Let me get to my normal David Box voice.
All right.
I forgot that
Let's
I
do
was
it.
French.
Hey, thanks for calling in, David.
Bye.
No, I see why that was funny, because it's a fucking idiotic thing to even bring up.
Yeah, what else does she say?
Data, history, crunch the numbers. So for me, those aren't there, but I think it's wonderful that the whole world is trying to help with their theories, and I absolutely love the theories.
I don't.
No, you don't. You're a liar.
You're a fucking liar. You just didn't want to put him on blast.
You're in the lie box lying.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
let's.
I assume we're about to go to